It's been almost a whole year since I've made my last video. Um, but I'm back. Surprisingly, um, I say that weirdly because I tend to go missing and then come back. But I'm back. This time I'm quite unsure as to if I'm gonna make videos or mini Rockfire videos again or any show. Um, I just came back this time to do some tutorials because while I was gone, I hit 1,000 subscribers. To which, thank you guys for that. I never would have guessed that me making all these guys out of paper and cardboard would get me to 1,000. But I appreciate that, and I wanted to thank you all for that. During my time gone, the characters have been in many places. They were stored after my last video, which was, I think, the Country Bear Musical Jamboree. All the animatronics were stored away after I was done with that in my garage. And then I brought them back to make those little YouTube short videos of making new masks for certain characters, to which, that was a series I never finished. But I'm getting off topic. All the characters are still here. They've not been thrown away. I'm keeping them displayed, quote unquote displayed. I didn't have any plans for them until recently. I just got back into the Rockafire, Showbiz, Chuck E. Cheese, all that. So as I was looking through all my old videos, I noticed that a lot of people were asking me for tutorials. Eventually, 4-6 years later, I'm finally doing that. So yeah, this is the tutorial on how to make Rolfe. All right, I just got done doing the background. I cut it so that it's 12 by 12 evenly. Now it's time for the stage. I decided that the stage is going to be an inch off, or an inch upwards. I had to get my Rolfe really quickly so that I can accurately get the stage right. So what you're going to want to do is just prop this backstage open. I guess you don't have to prop it up. You just I guess start outlining how you want the stage to be. So you just start from edge to edge. You start from this edge, whichever edge, and then you just kind of do a little bit of that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I guess it kind of does, but I'm just gonna be covering this up later. I'm just getting the outline made so that it's there for when I need it. You're just gonna be covering this up with the colored construction paper, I guess. Well, not this part. The other parts, yeah. You're just gonna have this part be gray. You can paint it, or just get gray construction paper. I think I'm gonna paint it, but you never know. Things change. But yeah, that is roughly how you want it to look like. Just get it as symmetrical as possible, and then we'll cut that out. Okay, so after you've cut that stage piece out, grab this other part of the flap, I guess is what they're called, and just try to measure an inch on there, and then you're just gonna mark it so that you know where to cut, because we're gonna use this little small strip here to support the actual stage. It might not be long enough, but that's okay. We can just put extra pieces of cardboard where we need them. So just mark this inch out and then just cut it up. As you cut this piece out, you might have started noticing that the cardboard is folding. That's okay. You actually want that to happen. It makes your life and mine easier when it comes to making these, because you're gonna want to fold these so that they're somewhat round to fit them around the floor part of the stage. So I'm just gonna use this side. So you're just gonna wanna, I guess, fold this, and then yeah, just have it folded, and then take Rolfe off, and then just make sure, see how far this goes. As you can see, it's not gonna fit all around, so you can just get the other side of that piece of cardboard that you just cut this strip out from, and then just mark an inch off of it again, and then yeah, just fill in what you need. You might not need to fill in this right side, because if you look at a picture of the actual 3D stage, all the stages are connected, but yeah, you might want to connect this farther part of the side, so you just cut out more pieces. Okay, I just cut out this little strip. It doesn't have to be long, just long enough to where you can cover both sides. So you're just gonna want to line the longer strip to the shorter strip and make sure they're an inch. The shorter one is a bit smaller. That's okay. It's just gonna be on the sides of the stage. No one's gonna see it. Yeah, just fold it. You don't have to connect them right now. You could if you wanted to. You would just have to connect the tape right here, but I'm not gonna do that. So we're just gonna, where's my tape? Oh, here it is. So what we're gonna want to do is just, I'm gonna go in from the center and then just work my way out. So we're just gonna put a piece of tape on right in the center, and then just line this up, and then just tape it down. Now you're gonna want to line it up so that it's not bulging out, kind of like this. You don't want to be bulging out. You just want it right underneath the base. Oh no. Okay. Let me just do that for the rest. Okay, so here it is, all done, all said and done. Once you get to these pieces to where they don't, to where you have to connect more pieces, just cut it down to how long you need it, and just tape it from here, and then another piece of tape just right there, and then it should fit perfectly. It'll protrude out a little bit, but that's okay. So you're just gonna want to measure it here. There we go. And then I'm just gonna put Rolfe and Earl on here, and it's coming out pretty good, I would say. Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna do next is the background. The background of Rolfe and Earl is just color. So you're gonna take the Astro Brights paper color. I've been using these ones. You don't have to use Astro Brights. It's just what I've been using throughout my time in doing this, and I find these ones to be really good, I guess. So I think Rolfe's background, if I remember correctly, is green, red, blue, and yellow, and then gray, but I don't have gray paper, so I'm just gonna substitute that. So what you're gonna do is just cut little strips. I guess strips, kind of like how they're formatted on the logo. It's just cut strips out and then tape those strips onto the background. Okay, getting these papers out was a lot harder than it needed to be, but I got them out eventually. So here we have green, red, yellow, and blue, and orange. I'm just gonna use orange instead of gray because I don't have gray right now. If you want it to be as accurate as possible, you can go get gray construction paper, or you can just color it in yourself. But to cut it into strips is pretty easy. You can stack them on top, one on top of the other, and then just cut them out. You can fold it too, just in case if you don't have as much, if you wanted to save as much paper as you wanted to. But yeah, just fold it or anything like that, and then just get at least 2 of each. You don't want these to be that big, so you just get your ruler out here, then measure them about just another inch, I guess. So just line them up. Make sure not one sticking out. And just get your ruler, measure it an inch. There you go. And then just line it up. And then do this when you use your measure. I learned this in art class. Don't go too hard when you draw a line to mark an inch, because when you cut it out, you might want to cut out away from the line. So you want that line as light as possible so that people don't see it. I don't try to cut right on the line. I try to cut outside of it. So just draw the line as light as possible. So you're just gonna cut these out. I'm doing a pretty bad job at cutting these out. So here we have the colors. They're not all gonna fit on there, so you might need 2 or 3 strips each. But yeah. So you see the vision though. So just keep on doing that until you have until you have just enough strips. Okay, so I just cut it 3 times, just to play it safe. Now there is a specific order in which the background goes. I don't have the background memorized, but essentially it goes red and then the gray. In this case I'm using orange, red, gray, yellow, green, blue, and red, I think. I could be wrong. The yellow and green could be switched, but yeah. So what you're gonna want to do, take your tape. It doesn't have to be a long piece of tape. You just tape it on top of here. Make sure that this is centered. Oops, it's falling off. Make sure that this is centered. Okay, and just tape it on there. And it's all right if it sticks out. It's just going to be held down by the stage anyway. So just, you're gonna want to keep on doing that. Make sure to cover up all the white. You don't want any of the white to be visible, because then that just breaks the illusion and it doesn't look good, I guess. Yeah, so just overlap them. Don't overlap them too much, just overlap them enough so that you don't see the white. So orange. Now the green and the yellow might be switched, so I'm just going to do yellow first, and then green, and then blue, and then red. So yellow, it might be green first. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect if you don't want it to be. I'm just gonna do yellow first. That way it kind of looks like a fire. And then yellow, and then green, and then blue, and then red. Let's see. Now, I kind of did this wrong, as you can tell. I didn't cut them thick enough, so you might, if you don't mind that, don't worry about it. But yeah. And then red goes last. Kind of looks like a rainbow. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I guess that's, you could always just add another piece of red onto this side. It doesn't really matter. Well, not to me anyways. I'm just gonna put a curtain there. Oops. I guess that works too. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a curtain there, and then yeah, I'll just put a curtain here. I mean, that's where the curtain goes. On the actual stage anyway. So you can either just add another strip of red here, or whatever color, or you can just leave it alone, because that's where a curtain goes. So you're just gonna do exactly what you did on this side. Oops, this is backwards. You're gonna do what you did on this other side, on this side now. Same pattern and everything. Oops. This is kind of hard. Yeah, same pattern and everything. Oh no. It's alright, just little bends. Just to make it easier, I tape the bottom of this so that they stay. Let's see, so it should make this easier. Little. And then just put it on there. And you might find that this is either the easiest or the hardest background to do. You might think the rock of the main stage, the center stage, is the easiest one to do. I find this one the easiest to do because it's just strips and things like that. But oh no, let's tape it together. But yeah, as you go along, make sure that they overlap. And this is actually the first. This is my first way of doing it like this. I've never done a cardboard floor. It's always been paper, but this is kind of new to me. But yeah, I've kind of, it's been a while since I've made that last one, back in 23 I think it was. I still have it somewhere here, but I never liked it. It just seemed too cartoonish, I guess, for my standards, I guess. But yeah, there you go. And then you're just gonna take the bottom of this part of this side down. Oops, no, that's not good. So when you overlap it, make sure every piece you add on overlaps to the other. That way it just looks good. Yeah, so when you add the orange adds on to the red in the center, and then the yellow overlaps onto the orange, and then so on. And 3 pieces of tape might be enough for this. It's been a while since I've made one, so I don't really remember if 3 is enough. I think it is. It should be enough. If it isn't, then good for you. But yeah, there we go. There's Rolfe stage. Yeah, there. That's the background. Now for the ceiling, you could just make another one of these and just add it up top here. If you do that, don't make it so that the steeling goes right on top of the piece of cardboard. Otherwise, that's just gonna make a really tall stage. Just have it an inch or two off from the top, and then yeah, because you don't want it to be a long stage, but you also want there to be enough room for the curtains that go all around on the top. So if you want to do that, you can. If you just want to use paper, that's okay too. Okay, now that we're done with the background, you're just going to want to grab a piece of paper. This is going to be the floor. What you're going to want to do is just try to outline it, or yeah, try to outline it. Let me see if I can change this angle a little bit. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is outline this. So don't start taping anything yet, other than the background, of course. You can do that, but just line the stage and the paper up. Now the paper might not be big enough. That's okay. We can always just add to it. So after you line everything up, after you line the stage and the paper onto the paper up, you're just going to want to outline the stage lightly. And after you line it up, I guess it doesn't matter when you do it if you do a darker mark around it, because this whole thing is just going to be gray. So if you have a gray colored pencil, that's good, because it makes this easier. And I don't know if this pack has a gray. Yep, it has, I think, a dark gray and a lighter gray. So I'm just going to pull those two out. These two out, and then, wow, this should not be hard. So it looks like there's a darker gray and a gray, just a regular gray. Unless if these are the same gray. So the warmer gray and the gray mist. I would go with the warmer gray, or just a darker gray. And then just color in the whole stage. What you could also do, instead of, if you just want to save yourself time, paint that with gray paint. Or you can just get gray construction paper. As long as the floor is gray, you know, then you're doing it right. This is what I did. This is what I first did on that. On my second time going around on the Rock of Fire. Because if you go back and look onto my older videos, you might see Pokemon, you might see other stuff. My first Rock of Fire videos, I did this, I believe, to Rolfe's stage, and then the second time around, I did it this way too. And the third time around, I honestly don't remember. Even if it was the most recent time I made the stage, the Rolfe stage, I honestly can't remember what I did. I might have used cardboard. I mean, not cardboard. I might have used gray construction paper. I might have just done it this way too. But I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember. I can only remember making that center stage and making a video on that. But on that same topic though, I'm not sure if I'm going to make a tutorial for that center stage because I already made one. Unless if I should. I know that I kind of went too fast on that last tutorial and I wasn't talking and doing all this. It might be easier if I did it this way, but I don't know. I might. If I don't lose motivation like how I have been. You don't have to color this part in like how I am. You can just scribble it or do anything. I'm just doing it this way because I've never done it this way. It might look better. But at the end of the day, it just needs to be colored gray. And honestly, this way's pretty hard. Just gonna scribble it. Keeping a sharpener nearby is pretty helpful too, because you're going to be sharpening these colored pencils a lot, especially when you get down to the characters. But yeah, there's that. Maybe make it a bit darker. I guess it didn't really matter the way I colored it. Just need to be a little bit darker. And yep, there it is. All said and done. Alright, so after you're done with that, you're going to want to cut it out. You might have noticed that this part specifically might not go around the whole stage. But I guess I kind of did this wrong. I'll explain why in a second. But yeah, that's the stage. So this is the stage. It should go on there pretty smoothly. If you don't mind this little piece being bare, and just leave it. If it does bother you a little bit, you can just get another piece of paper and then just color it. Just put it, layer it right underneath this little flap down here, and just tape it together. I don't really mind it because I'm just gonna have a curtain right here, so it's probably gonna cover it up. But yeah, so after that, you can tape it up. Okay, so after you've taped all that down, as you tape it down, if you see any parts of the paper that don't line up with this part of the stage, for example, if it, I guess, doesn't line up, or if it lines outward, you can just trim it down a little bit. If you don't do that, then the tape might be outwards, if that makes sense. So when you try to cover this part up with paper, or if you just want to leave it like that, if you want to cover it up with paper, it might not line up, and then because of the tape, and the tape might make all this look weird. So as you tape the paper on, make sure it all lines up. Anyway, yeah, that's that part of the stage. Now, if you want to do this bottom part, you can just do it the exact same way. Cut out a piece of just, what is it, an inch? Yeah, I just did it. I should remember. An inch. Cut an inch again, or before you cut it, color it in. A long strip, and then just connect that strip all around. As I started coloring it, I remember that I didn't press record. So after you line it out, color it in. That's what I'm doing right now. Of course, again, this could be easier. This could have been easier if I remember to get gray paper, but I didn't, and I'm too lazy to go to the store. So I'm just gonna do this the old-fashioned way. obviously this single strip isn't gonna, I'll just leave that there. Like I said, this single strip isn't gonna cover the whole stage, so you might have to do 2 strips. And then just cut that second strip down a little bit. But yeah. The easiest way of doing that is just folding this piece of paper, just folding it so that one side meets the other, kind of like a hot dog, I guess hot dog style. So just fold it that way, make sure they're even, and just fold it out. Fold it out, and then you just turn this side over, and then just color in this other side. You don't have to measure this other side out, just color it in. That way you don't have that. It just makes this easier if you have to do it this way. If you were doing it with the gray paper, you would just cut out an inch and then just put it around. But like I said, this is my first time doing this whole cardboard stage, I guess. I've always done paper, but this seems easier. When I did the paper, I would notice that the characters would often collapse the stage inward. And if you look at my videos, you could kind of see that. So this should prevent that from happening. There we go. And then you would just connect, put it all around there. I'm gonna start from edge to edge, or from one edge to the other. Here we go. And it doesn't have to cover this brown part. You can leave that brown part. It doesn't hurt anyone. I guess it might hurt some people if it's not, this isn't really covered up. You could also use actual fabric for the stage if you wanted to. I've seen some other people do that. When they make their little homemade stages, whether it be clay or cardboard or paper, they actually use, or they use actual fabric instead of just gray pieces of paper, which I think is neat. I was going to do that, but then I remembered that the way to keep characters on the stage is by taping it. And tape and fabric don't go well. Or at least for me anyway. For other people that might be different. But if you wanted to, you could do that. That would be cool if you did that. If I ever have to do this again, I might do it that way. And it would be easier too, because there is gray fabric out there. Just put it on with hot glue on this cardboard and just call it a day. But no, I'm just doing it the old-fashioned way. I taught myself how to do all this. I came up with this when I was pretty young. I used to do these flat stages. Or not flat stages, the stages would be 2D. The characters would be 2D, I guess. And they would just be kind of like cardboard stands a little bit. But ever since then I've evolved, I guess. But yeah, that's the stage all covered up and everything. Where's that it fell down here, right behind my desk. But yeah, this is the stage. This is basically it. I mean, if you don't mind those pieces sticking out, which they're kind of bothering me now, I guess, if I really wanted to. Still have enough paper to make it look. I'll do that. I'll just add random colors. Like I said again, if it doesn't bother you that much, you don't have to add more strips of color. You can just leave it as it is. But it's bothering me now. It might have bothered you the first time, so you probably already did this. But if not, that's cool. You can do it with me. Uh-oh, that's kind of ugly. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do next is just tape the background to the stage. I don't know why I was forgetting the word. So how you do that is, there's two ways you could do that, I guess. You could do the tape on top of the stage, or you can do the tape that connects from the bottom. Just put the tape right here, then connect it to the surface, to the background. I find that if I ever want to store these stages, having the tape on this top side, you could easily just fold the stage upwards like that. That would make it easier to store, I guess, if you ever need to do that. I'm gonna do that. I figured that out with the most recent stage that I made. When I fell out of interest for the Rockafire in 23 or 24, I think, I just stored them away. I think the Billy Bob stage and the Rolfe stage, I want to say, have been thrown away, but I still have that center stage. If I want to use that stage for this go around, I could. If I really wanted to, I could. But no. If I'm that lazy, I could, I should say. But yeah, just tape this all together. I taped it wrong. There's this other side that's not uneven, and now it's gonna bother me if we don't. If that does happen, if you mess up a little bit, just fold the tape inwards. That you could kill two birds with one stone. Just tape this back side on of the stage. But yeah, I noticed I was doing it a little bit wrong. So I guess watch out for that. Make sure that the stage is right on the edge of the background when you're doing this. Otherwise it won't look good. But as you're doing this, push the background onto the stage. Oops. Well, that's why you made it out of cardboard, so that it wouldn't squish down. But yeah. I'm doing this out of the way of the camera so that it's easier for me. Plus you kind of already know what I'm doing. You're just taping whatever. You're taping the stage to the back. Now, I'm not sure how long this video is, but for me, it's kind of been a while. I think it's been about like 30-ish minutes since I started doing this. but I guess that's the average time. It shouldn't take you more than an hour to be doing this. I think it's taking, the only reason it's taking me this long is because I'm documenting this. Making sure you all can have an opportunity to make your own one of these. Okay, so that should be the stage all set up, all connected and everything. So if you wanted to, if you already have a Rolfe thing that you made. Speaking of making characters, I might make a tutorial on how to make all these different guys. I already made I think it was a tutorial on Beach Bear. So you could just reverse engineer that into making these guys. If you want to know how tall these guys are, Rolfe, for example, is about 5 inches. Let's see. 7 inches, whoa. Rolfe is 7 inches tall. If you want to do it my way, it's 7 inches tall. The other characters are different sizes. But yeah. Here's Rolfe and Earl. Like I said, you could do this, the roof, the ceiling, if you wanted to. You would just do the exact same thing you did here, but except for this border that's down here, you would use red for the curtains. You could choose whatever color curtains you want. I think red is the most accurate. But it depends on what era of Rockafire you're doing. If you're doing the beta version or the main version of the Rockafire, you could change the ceiling. But yeah, I guess that is it. If you want to add more decorations, you can. For example, if you want to add the symbol, you could use a piece of just cardboard, color it gray, or a piece of white cardboard, color it gray, and then put a yellow triangle on there, and that way you can have a symbol. I guess for old time's sake, I should do it like this. But yeah, that's basically it. Just add whatever you need to. The applaud sign that's up here, the rainbow. For the rainbow, you can just use paper. Just color it in, color the gold. What are they called? Cauldrons? I don't know. The gold that's and the rainbow that's coming out of. What are they called? Cauldrons, I guess. Cauldrons of gold, and then just do the rainbow. I'm gonna do that all on my own time. But yeah, that's basically it. But if you guys want me to make a tutorial on the characters, I know I've been getting, throughout the years of making videos, I've been getting tutorials, or I've been getting asked about making tutorials on how to make the characters, and I think this might be the go around as to where I will make tutorials. Whoa. Yeah, tutorials on the characters and stages. Next, I don't know if I'm gonna do Billy Bob or the main. I think I'm just gonna do Billy Bob next. So stick around for that.